Hello, good morning. For the next topic of engineering economy, we have annuities. Okay, so ano ba yung annuities pagka sinimplihan natin o siguro sa Tagalog? Sa definition ng annuity, sabi, this is a series of equal payments made at equal intervals of time. So, if a payment is considered an annuity, ibig sabihin, kailangan masunod to. Okay? Equal payments when equal intervals of time. And take note that this is a series. Ibig sabihin, it happens not just once, okay? Pwede twice or thrice or 4 times or 5 times, okay? So, it depends kung gaano katagal. Basta, it happens at equal intervals, okay? Ano yung mga example ng annuities natin? Let's say, for example, annuities, pinakamadaling example nito is yung mga uh, utang. Okay? Pagka binayaran mo yung utang mo ng hulugan, okay, let's say monthly, tapos meron lang siyang predetermined value, then that is an annuity. Okay? Example is, bumili ka ng cellphone. Okay? Cellphone, let's say worth 50,000. And then nilugan mo siya ng, let's say, 5K per month. Okay? 5K per month for, let's say, ilang months ito? Let's say 12 months, 1 year. Okay? Okay? 5,000 every month for 1 year. Okay, so this is an annuity. Bakit? Kasi yung mga payments na ginagawa mo is equal. Okay? And isa pa, the intervals are equal as well. Okay? So, every month. Okay? Pag may isang sumablay dyan, halimbawa, yung payment mo ay 5,000, let's say 7,000 for the second month, then naging 9,000 for the third month, then hindi na siya considered na annuity and the formulas na ibibigay natin dito will not apply. Okay? So, yan yung annuity natin. Series of equal payments made at equal intervals of time. Or pwede rin siguro pension. Okay? Na let's say you are depositing values o pera before. Tapos, at a certain time, makaka-receive ka ng equal payments monthly or yearly. Okay? Pension. So, ganun pa rin siya. Equal amount of payments at equal intervals of time. So, still considered an annuity. Okay? So, kung last time, we are just dealing with single payments or single disbursements. Okay? So, ngayon, series of equal payments na tayo. Okay? So, what are the types of annuities? Okay? We have the ordinary, we have the deferred, we have the annuity due, and we have the perpetuity. Actually meron pa netong mga kasunod na hindi na siya annuity eh. Meron pa yung mga palaki ng palaki yung payments, either in arithmetic or a geometric way. Anyway, hindi natin muna isasama yun dito. Okay? Explain natin to isa-isa, although mabilisan lang na discussion. Kasi ang topic natin for this video is an ordinary annuity lang muna. Oops, parang na-double yun. Okay. Teka. Anyway, na-double nga yung itong picture na to. Anyway, ordinary annuity is an annuity done when the payments are done in arrears. Okay, napaliwanag ko na yung in arrears na term last time. Okay? When you say ordinary annuity, ibig sabihin, the payments are done at the end of every period. Okay, let's have an example. Okay, so let's say you have a loan. Okay, nag-araw pataas kasi nangutang ka, so nagkaroon ka ng pera. And you are going to pay this with ordinary annuity lang. Okay, teka. Gawin natin green yung araw pataas. You are going to pay this in the form of an ordinary annuity. Okay? This is the beginning of first year, so that's 0. This is the end of first year. This is the end of second year, end of third year, and end of fourth year. Okay? So ulit ha, this is the first year. This is the beginning and this is the end of first year. This is the second year, beginning and end of second year. This is the third year. This is the beginning of third year and end of third year. And this is the fourth year. This is the beginning and end of fourth year. Okay? When you say ordinary annuity, yung bayad mo ay dulo ng bawat periods. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, your first payment will be at the end of first year. Your second payment will be at the end of second year. Third payment will be at the end of third year, fourth year, and so on. Kung meron pa karugtong. Okay? This is ordinary annuity where payments are done at the end of every period. Okay? Or, let's say, kung ikaw ay nag-iipon at equal intervals of time with equal payments and you expect a lump sum at the end, okay, with interest. Let's say, nag-iipon ka, ganun din, 4 years na lang din ang example natin. Okay, 4 years. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, syempre, yung ipon mo for the first year will happen on the end of the first year. Okay? For the second year, ang hulog mo ay at the end of second year. Ito at the end of third year, and yung hulog mo for the last year will be at the end of the last year. Okay? And your gain will be on the end of the last year din. Ibig sabihin, pagkahulog mo nung huling ipon mo, you also get your final lump sum. Okay? So, this is P, present worth, and this is F, final worth, and these are A. Tandaan mo na yung mga A na yan should have the same value because we are studying annuity, so they should have the same value. Okay? Paid at the equal intervals of time. Okay? Just remember, when you say ordinary, ibig sabihin, the first payment is done, or the payments are done at the end of every period. End of every year, end of every month, end of every quarter, kung ano man yan. Okay? Take note na ang keyword dito is end of period. At the end of every period. Okay? Now, when we say deferred, pag tinignan mo kasi yung word na defer sa dictionary or deferred sa dictionary annuity, ibig sabihin ng deferred is delayed. Okay? Anong pinakamagandang example nito? Pinakamagandang example is buy now, pay later. Okay? Ibig sabihin, you get your payment or you get your loan ngayon and babayaran mo siya hindi at the end of this month. Babayaran mo siya sometime in the future. Okay? Na-delay siya. Ganito. Let's say you got your phone. Okay? That's P, present worth. And let's say, dahil gumamit ka ng credit card, babayaran mo pa siya at the end of 3 months or the end of 6 months. Okay? So, ito yung tinatawag na deferred annuity. ... Okay? Deferred, ibig sabihin, delayed. Okay? Buy now, pay later. That is the best example for that. Okay? Next is annuity due. Yung annuity due, kabaliktaran ito ng ordinary. Okay? Sa ordinary, kung binabayaran mo yung mga utang mo at the end of every period, o ibig sabihin in arrears, isa pang keyword for ordinary annuity is in arrears, o at the end of every period. Sa annuity due, in advance naman ang keyword dyan. Okay? Or at the beginning of every period. Okay, let's say you had a loan. Okay? And that loan is to be paid in 4 years. Ganun din, parang yung example natin kanina. You have your present value P. And sabi, you are going to pay at the beginning of every period. So kung sinabi na your payment will be 4 years, saan yung first payment mo? Remember that this is the first year. Okay? This is the beginning of the first year and this is the end of the first year. So if you're going to pay in advance or if you're going to pay in the form of annuity due, your first payment will be at the beginning of the first year. Okay, so if this is the first year, this is your first payment. Okay, if this is the second year, your second payment will be at the beginning of the second year. And your third payment will be at the beginning of the third year. And your last payment or payment for the last year will be at the beginning of the fourth year. Okay? So, annuity due is just like ordinary annuity na kung saan inusog mo lahat ng payments mo at the beginning of every period. So, dun lang siya nagkaiba. Okay? Tapos, let's say, for example, let's say you are going to have your investment lump sum at the end of 4 years ulit, that's future worth, pero you are going to do that in the form of an annuity due. So, ibig sabihin, your first ipon will be at the beginning of first year, second ipon will be at the, yan, then ito, and your last ipon for the third year, or for the last year, since ito yung year 4, your ipon for year 4 will be located dito sa may beginning of year 4. Okay? Goods tayo doon? Okay, so that's annuity due. Iba-iba ng formula yan. Pero, it doesn't mean na kailangan mong kabisduhin lahat yun. Okay? Tuturuan ko kayo ng paraan kung kayo ay very formula dependent, which I do not recommend. Okay? May mga formula na isa-isa para dyan. Pero, if you really want to understand the formulas and hindi nyo trip magkabisa without understanding it, tuturuan ko kayo ng paraan paano mag-solve ng isang formula lang ang alam mo. Actually, if you are very confident of your understanding dito sa ordinary annuity, you can even apply that dun sa deferred, dun sa annuity due. Okay? So, may mga techniques lang para dun. And tuturuan ko rin kayo if you are using different calculators or how to calculate annuity using calculator techniques. Okay? Without memorizing the formula. Okay? Or siguro, pang double check nyo na yon yung mga calculator techniques natin. Okay? Basta may sigma function yung calcu mo. Kaya yan. And lastly, the perpetuity. The perpetuity ay galing sa word na perpetual. Ibig sabihin, not ending. Walang katapusan. Okay? So, parang, ano yan ganito. You pay a single, let's say you pay a single amount P and you receive equal amounts na hindi natatapos, not ending. Okay? Considered na walang katapusan. Perpetual payments. Okay? So, that's perpetuity. Okay? So, yun. That's it. That's your, ano ba example nun? Siguro, mga halimbawa, let's say a single infrastructure that needs repair or maintenance every year. So since that infrastructure is assumed to last for several or let's say a very long time, so you can consider yung maintenance cost nun as in perpetuity. Okay, done at regular intervals every year with same amount of payments. So that's it. Okay? Not considering inflation, syempre. So, yan. Dito muna tayo. So, for this video, the discussion will be focused doon sa ordinary annuity. Okay? So, let's begin. Oops. Katulad na pinaliwanag ko, ordinary annuity is an annuity where the payments are done at the end of every period. Okay, so ida-derive natin yung formula. Ayoko magbigay ng formula na bigla ko na lang binigay, tapos plug and play na lang, you don't even understand saan nanggaling yan. Okay? So, let's say you have a phone. Okay, ganun ulit, cellphone na lang, pinakamadaling example. And you got your phone now, which costs or which is worth P. Okay? Actually, itong annuity is very applicable sa everyday living, lalo na sa mga loans, lalo sa mga cards, or kung ano mga utang, or investment. This is very applicable. Okay? This is a real life math. So, at at year 0, ibig sabihin, at the present, ngayon. Okay? So, your first payment, let's say hindi ka nag-avail ng buy now, pay later. So, your first payment will be 30 days after or at the end of that month. Okay? So, let's say A. Let's say gusto mo 6 months mo lang bayaran yan. O kahit hindi cellphone, kahit ibang appliances. Okay. So, let's say 0, sorry. This is end of month 1, end of second month, third month, fourth month, fifth month, and at the end of 6 months. So, 6 months mo lang siyang babayaran. Okay? And then, how do we derive o how do we actually kahit naman hindi mo alam yung formula ng annuity, kung master mo yung mga lessons last time, yung pag-move doon sa ating cash flow diagram, yung kung paano mo i-atras tong mga to, actually magagawa mo naman to. Okay? Let's say your payment is worth P. Ganun, ang concept lang naman dyan is, kung ano yung kinuha mo, equal yan sa lahat ng value ng mga A. Okay? Kung ano yung nakuha mong present worth P, pagka dinala mo lahat yung A doon sa present time 0, katulad ng binanggit ko last time, na if you're going to equate the cash flow, if you're going to equate yung laman ng cash flow diagram natin, it has to be done sa isang time lang. If you do it here, do it here. Kung dito sa 6, then do it doon sa 6. Pero this time, dadali natin lahat ng payments at year 0. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, P is equal to sum of A at year 0. Okay? Sum of all A at year 0. Okay? So, pag sinulat natin yon, it's going to be P equals, itong A na to, dadalhin ko rito. So, that's 1 plus I raised to negative 1. Tama? Tapos yung pangalawang A, ganun din, dadalhin ko rin doon. So, that's, sorry. That's 1 plus I raised to negative 2 plus A, 1 plus I raised to negative 3 plus A, 1 plus I raised to negative 4 plus A, 1 plus I raised to negative 5 plus the last A, 1 plus I raised to negative 6. So kung papansin mo, kaya naman pala yan kahit walang formula eh. Oo nga, pero syempre, gusto natin mapabilis yung computation. Paano kung yung amortizations mo ay 24 months, 36 months? Iisa-isahin mo ba yan? Ang tagal niyan. Okay, that's why we are deriving the formula. Okay? So, kung mapapansin mo, pagka sinulat mo to, di ba ganito yan? P equals A times 1 over 1 plus I. Diba ganyan siya? Plus, yung pangalawang A, 1 over 1 plus I squared plus A times 1 plus over 1 plus I raised to negative, raised to 3, sorry. Tandaan mo yung negative exponents, ibig sabihin yan ay ba nasa ilalim? O baka may naliligaw dyan, ha? Hanggang 1 plus I raised to 6. Okay? Then, let's try to factor out lahat ng A. Of course, itong mga summation na yan, may mga common na silang factor, which is A. So, let's try to factor them all out. Tapos, mangyari, P equals A. Tapos, may iwan sa loob, 1 plus I plus 1 plus I squared, 1 plus I cube, 1 plus I raised to 4, hanggang 1 plus I raised to 6. Okay, so ganyan siya. Ano napapansin mo rito? Di ba series ito? From your basic lesson sa algebra, anong klaseng series ito? 1 over 1 plus I, 1 over 1 plus I squared, 1 over 1 plus I cube. This is a geometric series. Tama? Naku po, ano yung geometric series? O recall natin ha, para hindi ka maguluhan. Geometric series is a series which has a common factor. Okay, na parang palaki siya ng palaki geometrically. Let's say 2, then 4, then 8, then 6, then, arithmetic yan. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and so on. Okay, when you say geometric series, may minumultiply ka ng minumultiply bawat term. So, times 2, times 2, times 2, times 2, times 2. Okay? Eto, anong mga common factor nito? Ang common factor niyan ay 1 over 1 plus I. Tama ba? Tama. So, eto, when you multiply 1 over 1 plus I dito sa term ito, magiging ganito siya. If you multiply another 1 plus I dito sa second term, magiging third term siya. If you multiply 1 over 1 plus I dito, ito ang kalalabasan. Okay, I hope you are not getting confused with that. Okay? Tandaan mo na this is a geometric series where the common factor is 1 over 1 plus I. Ngayon, from your algebra lesson, kung natandaan mo pa to nung ikaw ay nasa senior high school, ang sum ng geometric series is A, which is the first term, times 1 minus R raised to N, okay, over 1 minus R. Tama? That is the formula. In our case, yung ating series, first term is 1 over 1 plus I, second term is 1 over 1 plus I squared, third term is 1 plus 1 over I cube, and so on, 1 over 1 plus I raised to N. Okay? At yung ating common multiplier is 1 over 1 plus I. You multiply that to every term to get the next term. Okay? Now we want the sum of this. We want the sum of this series. Okay? So, paano natin siya gagawin? Siyempre, yung A natin, first term is 1 over 1 plus I. Okay? So, let's try to get the sum of that first 6 terms. Okay? So, A natin is 1 over 1 plus I. Okay, ito yun. And then, your next 1 minus R. Ang R natin is, ang R natin is, ito. Okay. 1 over 1 plus I raised to N. Ilang terms ba yun? 6, di ba? Sa example natin, there are 6 payments. Okay? So, 6. Tapos, 1 minus R. Naku po, algebra. Kailangan nating i-simplify yan. Kaya ba? O, subukan muna natin. Ito muna. Simplify muna natin yung nasa baba. Okay? Let's try to make this a single fraction para mas hindi nakakalito. Okay? So, let's just rewrite muna yung nasa taas. Okay? Then ito, syempre, magiging 1 plus I yan. Ito magiging 1 plus I over 1 plus I. So, it's going to be 1 plus I over 1 plus I minus 1 plus I. So, this is now a, sa fraction na yun, yung may common denominator. Similar fraction. Okay? Then, you just have to operate with the numerators. Then, 1 plus I minus 1. So, matitira sa taas is I na lang. Tama ba? So, yung magiging denominator natin simplified is I over 1 plus I. Tama ba? Sana hindi kayo nalito ron. Okay, now, since your denominator o your fraction has 1 plus I sa taas and 1 plus I din dito, then pwede na yung i-cancel. Tama ba? So, let's just cancel this and let's just cancel yung nasa baba na 1 plus I. So, yung 1 sa taas, pwede mo nang hindi isulat yan. So, ang matitira sa atin ay kapal. Sum of 6 terms is yung sa taas, that's 1 minus 1 over 1 plus I raised to 6. Okay? Pag pwede mo i-distribute yung 6 doon sa numerator at sa denominator, yung 1 magiging 1 pa rin sa taas. Okay? Over, ay na lang yung matitira sa baba. Okay? So, pag sinimplify pa natin ito, this can be written as 1 minus 1 plus I raised to negative 6 Hala sir, saan galing yun? Di ba pagka ito, ginawa mong 1 raised to 6, 1 pa rin. Ito, 1 plus I raised to 6. So, ang mangyayari dito, magiging 1 over 1 plus I raised to 6. Tama ba? O, binaliktad lang natin. Kaya nagkaroon ng negative 6 na exponent. Okay? So, over I. Teka, ibalik na natin to. Now, we have simplified itong kanina, di ba, A times the series of this, o the sum of this series. Tama ba? Ngayon, we have simplified this. Tama ba? Ito na siya ngayon. Ito na siya. Okay? So, ang formula natin for that, ito, present worth equals the value of uniform series of payments A, okay, times 1 minus 1 plus I raised to negative 6 over I. So, ito na ngayon yung formula natin. You just have to know the interest rate and the value of A. Then you can now solve for P. Or if you already know P, then you can now solve for your A or your monthly amortizations. Okay? Okay tayo ron? Okay. Pero if we use this formula generally, syempre, ito na yung formula na kailangan nyo kabisaduhin. For present worth of an annuity, P equals A times 1 minus 1 plus I raised to negative N. N is the number of payments made, not number of years, ha? N is the number of payments made. Okay? Divided by I. Okay? Itong N nga lang, actually, may formula to na may M tapos may R. Pero mamaya i-discuss natin isa-isa yan. Okay? That is the formula for P. Okay? So, ito yung pwede mong i-memorize kung ayaw mo nang balikan yung derivation natin. And syempre, hindi mo na babalikan yan dahil it is lengthy. Okay? The purpose of this is just to show you how we arrive dito sa formula na to. Okay? Pero, syempre, when you are solving, dapat alam mo to. Okay? Or, if your annuities are, ang ganito itsura, 0, 1, 2, 3, tapos burahin na natin to, dot, dash. Ibig sabihin ng dash na yan, parang skipping the timeline. Then, N, tapos you have your future worth F. Okay? Let's say nag-invest ka, then you are expecting for a lump sum. Anong value ng F na yan? Hindi ko napapakita yung derivation ng formula. Sasabihin ko na lang, F equals A times 1 plus I raised to N minus 1 over I. So, looks fam lang din. Okay? Actually, may mga iba-ibang anyo nito. Okay? Pero, it depends on you kung ano yung gusto mong kabisaduhin. Okay? Pero yung kapag kayo nakatulad natin example, na yung present worth mo, P ang concern mo, then you have your annuities. 1, 2, 3, then dot. Hanggang sa makarating ka sa nth payment mo. Yung formula, katulad ng diniscuss natin kanina, P equals A times, 1 minus 1 plus I raised to negative N over I. Okay? Or, pwedeng gawin na ganito to eh. Di ba nakuha mo na yung present worth P. Tapos, kung gusto mo kunin yung future worth F, dalin mo na lang doon. Yung parang ginagawa natin doon sa cash flow diagram. Kapag ka naglilipat ka from one time to another. Pagka aabante ka, i-multiply mo na lang sa 1 plus I raised to N para makaabante ka. Pagka ikaw ay aatras, pwedeng, multiply mo sa 1 plus I raised to negative N. Diba? Pag aatras ka, negative exponent mo. Pag aabante ka, positive. Now, if we want to write the formula for F using this formula, pwede mong gamit niyan. F equals P times 1 plus I raised to N. Tama ba? Diba? So, baba kung gusto mong makuha yung F dito. Ayan. kung gusto mo makuha yan, dalhin mo lang yung P doon sa oras ni F. Hindi since P is 1 times 1 plus o 1 minus 1 plus I raised to negative n over I, tapos i-multiply mo lang siya by 1 plus I raised to n. Okay? Ganun lang. Dinala mo lang to dun. Or, pwede mong, ito namang F, pwede mo itong gamitin para kunin yung present worth P. Ganun din. E di, ang gagawin mo, P equals A, di ba alam natin na, teka, sandali. If you want to get the value of P given F, edi atras mo yung F mo dun sa may time na yun. Edi P equals F, multiply mo sa 1 plus I raised to negative n. Kasi diba i-atras mo. Edi yan, P equals A times 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 over I. Tapos atras natin 1 plus I raised to negative n. Okay? Then that should be good. If you want to really master the formulas, you can try all formulas yourself and see kung ano yung magkakaparehas. Ano yung what makes sense. Okay? Pero sa akin, ang pinakakinabisado ko lang talaga is ito. Kasi pwede mo nang paikot-ikutin yan eh. Okay? Okay. And, I think pwede na tayo mag-solve ng problems. Okay. So, let's start solving problems. Basta, tandaan na, ayan yung mga formulas natin. If you want to know the future worth of your annuities, use this formula. Or, pwede rin na if you know your future worth and you don't know what amount to invest or what amount to pay regularly, then use that formula. Then ito naman, if you know your present worth or if you are more concerned with your present worth in relation to your monthly, if in relation to your periodical payments, then use that formula. Okay? Tandaan mo that annuities periods, yung mga periods natin na N, it can happen in the form of pwedeng annual payments, pwedeng semi-annual payments, pwedeng quarterly, pwedeng monthly, pwedeng bi-monthly. So, ayun. Okay?